all those moments will be lost in time.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are back, unfortunately, for another episode of Blood Boiling News. But before we get into the blood boiling news and before we sink into a deeper pit of despair than we usually are in, I wanted to give you a little bit of uplifting before I drag you swiftly down. So at this very moment, the moment this goes live at 9 a.m. Pacific time, I will be teaching my first class of English university students, first year university students, and at this time I'll be pranking them by sitting in one of the back rows and pretending to not be the teacher, just pretending to be a student, because why would a teacher be tattooed and have green fingernails, right? That's not really the image most people associate with teacher. And I'm gonna wait a couple minutes until like the chatter starts up and everyone's like, where is the teacher? And then I'm just gonna get up and be like, welcome to English 101, and they're gonna be shook. So if you guys wanna hear a story time of however that goes, like it could be an immense failure, let me know. But anyways, let's get into the depression. Doctor convicted of raping sedated patient gets no jail time. I feel like I don't even have to elaborate on the story for all of us to collectively slam our heads into our desks until we somehow get a lobotomy, stop understanding what life is, forget that we exist, forget this knowledge, I don't know. Newsweek reports, a former Texas doctor who was convicted of raping a heavily sedated patient has been sentenced to 10 years of probation and will not be required to serve any jail time. When I get angry, I cry, and I literally just did my makeup less than 3 minutes ago, so it's not about to happen. It's not happening. Okay. Shafeeq Sheikh, 46, who was an internal medicine resident at Baylor College of Medicine, was sentenced on Friday after a Harris County jury found him guilty of a second-degree sexual assault for raping a patient while she was tethered to machines. He must also register as a sex offender for the rest of his life. Okay, so he has to register as a sex offender. Boo fucking who. Okay, that's it? Really? The Houston Chronicle reported that the jurors recommended the sentence, which the visiting senior district judge, Terry L. Flanagan, is required by law to carry out. Sheikh lost his medical license in 2015 after the Texas Medical Board found that he posed a continuing threat to public welfare. In November 2013, a woman identified as Laura sought treatment at the Ben Taub Hospital in Houston after she had suffered an asthma attack. Once there, she was sedated and remained on the premises overnight while receiving treatment. Prosecutors said Sheikh visited Laura's room multiple times throughout the night to sexually assault her. Although she attempted to call for help, she was unsuccessful as the nurse's button was unplugged. The nurse's button was unplugged. What kind of premeditative asshole? Oh god, like it's as if it's not disgusting enough that he did that to her. The premeditation that went into like, oh, let me unplug this so when she calls for help while I'm raping her, no one's gonna find out. Oh, what a... During the first two visits, the male physician entered the room and placed his mouth on her breast and inserted his fingers into her vagina. He also attempted to place his penis in her mouth, the 2015 lawsuit said. Sheikh then re-entered her room later that evening and proceeded to rape her without using a condom. It's the feeling you can't do anything. You can't do anything to save yourself, Laura told the Chronicle. Okay, so first of all, that's actually really heartbreaking and really sad what she said. That makes me more sad now that I'm angry, but I'm still angry. After hospital security cameras found Sheikh on the same floor as Laura and DNA evidence from the woman's rape kit further pegged Sheikh as a likely suspect, Sheikh admitted to having had sex with a woman but claimed she had consented. He was charged in 2015, 2 years after the incident. In an interview with KHOU TV, Laura revealed that she believed other victims also suffered in Sheikh's hands. Of course, yes, and the reason I think so is because this person had everything very organized, she said. I'm not only Laura, I represent lots of women who've been raped and mistreated. So the sole fact that Laura says this, like, I think they should deep dive, investigate all the women patients, and maybe even male patients or child patients for all we know. Like, genuinely, if this victim believes that there have been other people because of that premeditative move of like unplugging the nurse's button, why wouldn't they look into this? And why wouldn't they lock him up in the meantime? Just wondering, because I'm not seeing the logic here. Apparently logic doesn't exist anymore. During the sentencing, Sheikh's attorney, Stanley Schneider, asked the jury to be lenient on his client, who was a father and a husband with no prior felonies. He's a father and husband and a rapist. So, father and husband, who cares? Actually, who gives a fuck if he is a father and a husband when he raped someone? That is irrelevant. Irrelevant. I mean, I understand lawyers, like my aunt's a lawyer, so I respect them, but when I hear them say things like this, I get it's your job, but it's just so disgusting to say shit like this. Prosecutors and defense lawyers have criticized the 0 jail time sentence as too lenient. No shit. When you're a doctor, I'd expect you to get prison time, Casey Kiernan, an attorney who has defended people accused of sexual assault for nearly 4 decades, said. We hold doctors to a higher standard. There is your dose of blood boiling, of depression, of just all over negative feelings. Honestly, I'm shocked that this hasn't gotten more news coverage. Someone messaged me about this, but I hadn't heard of it at all. And I'm someone who's online fairly frequently, obviously, so the fact that I haven't come across this to me says that it hasn't been prominent, because it's not like I've been hiding under a rock. So I really hope that this gets more traction, because like I said, with all these cases, they deserve more attention. But the sad thing is, like, if we can't hold doctors to the higher standards and they just get off with 10 years of probation and being on a sex offender registry, if that's it, what's gonna stop people from being even more depraved? You know what I mean? That's what scares me, because it's like telling people, hey, you can get away with shit like this, when really they shouldn't. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.